Masechet Avodah Zarah, Lamed Amud Aleph tells us that if this we spoke about, you can't have wine produced or owned or even touched by a non-Jew. It comes Asur Midrabanan, it's called Stam Yenam. However, the Gemara tells us there's a little bit of leniency. There's a way to avoid it, and it's called Yain Mevushal. The wine is cooked before, and it's okay that the goy touches it. It's okay that the goy handles it even after the bottle's opened, because it is cooked before. Now, the Rishonim have given a few reasons why Yain Mevushal has no Gzera of Stam Yenam. The Ritva explains that the time of the decree that the rabbis made against wine that was handled by a goy, that was on real wine. The decree, they never made it on cooked wine. Cooked wine was never a common wine they had in the time of Chazal. So therefore, when they made a decree against the wine of a goy, they made it against real wine, not cooked wine. So therefore, cooked wine doesn't have the decree of Stam Yenam. The Rambam, interestingly, says that the reason why cooked wine doesn't have Stam Yenam is because you can't give it on the Mizbeach. Anything that you can't give on the Mizbeach is not what Chazal made a decree upon. Lastly, we have the Rashba. The Rashba says that actually cooked wine loses its status of wine. It's not even wine anymore. So therefore, the Rashba says the reason why wine that's cooked is not going to be considered Stam Yenam if a goy touches it is because it's not even wine anymore. It loses its status of wine. So therefore, there's many reasons that the Rishonim give for why cooked wine is not an issue. Now, the question becomes, today if you have a non-cooked wine, but a lot of wines are pasteurized. Pasteurized means, there was a scientist named Louis Pasteur who he went and he decided, he made this scientific findings that if you cook something, if you boil something, it's going to be healthier for the food, less germs are going to be in it. So therefore, the standard procedure for a lot of food production today is they pasteurize a lot of things, like our milk and a lot of liquids, and wine is one of those things that it became standard to pasteurize. To boil it, not to boil it, let's say, to cook it a little bit in a slightly high temperature in order to kill off some germs and make that the food has a longer shelf life. So Rabbi writes in Chelek Siman Tetvav Yeridea in Yabi Omer, and Rav Moshe Feinstein writes also the same thing in Chelek Gimel of Rigot Moshe. They both give the lenient opinion that pasteurized wine also can have a status of Yain Mevushal. So therefore, even if you have a wine that's not Mevushal, but at least it was pasteurized, that will be enough to be lenient to say, even if a goy handled it, it will still be mutar to drink. So therefore, there are Achronim who argue, but we have these two great Torah giants to rely on. There's another cute story I want to share with you about the Chofetz Chaim, Alav Shalom. He had a guest come over, a very wealthy guest who came over, and this wealthy guest finally got to meet the Chofetz Chaim. He saw his house. His house was a very, very simple house, very simple furniture, didn't look like so much. And he said to the Rabbi, how do you live like this? Such a small, dinky little house. Where's all your furniture? This is your furniture? He says, let me ask you, Mr. Guest, you're not from this town, right? He says, no, I don't live here. All I'm carrying is my luggage. He says, where's your furniture? Why don't you bring your furniture? He says, what do you mean? I'm a guest. The guest brings the furniture everywhere he goes. He said to him, you should know I'm also a guest. I'm also a guest. I'm here temporary. You're here temporary. I'm also here temporary. Soon, we're all going to go to Olam Haba. So therefore, he says, why should I invest so much in my furniture? I should invest in the real estate, which is Torah mitzvot that you take with you.